Def Noodles has made a lot of mistakes during his online career, but picking a fight with Charlie over some friendly criticism was by far the worst.
Greatest crime that I committed was to have caused the great moist critical to cringe. I have unfortunately committed the most heinous sin a YouTuber can commit in their careers.
Combine this with Def Noodles refusing to take accountability and listen to the voice of reason.
Why make yet another video rolling around in your own personal drama and posting it on your channel? That is self-destructive. That is a downward spiral. Your audience doesn't want to keep seeing you do this. I don't want to see you making videos like this because it's just not a good look.
It's no wonder why his channel had a 98% decline in viewership that ultimately forced him to delete his entire online presence. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be delving into the unhinged career of Def Noodles, a creator that thought it would be better to burn his reputation, credibility, and fanbase to the ground instead of accepting criticism. Def Noodles, whose real name is Dennis Vitoza, built an audience of over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube by creating videos that blended commentary, comedy, and news reporting. Throughout his time on YouTube, Dennis was obsessed with becoming a stand-up comedian.
I just took a DNA test, I'm 100% that bitch, even when I'm crying crazy.
Yeah, I got boy problem.
So obsessed, he'd weave edgy jokes when making commentary on serious topics, and even told a viewer to, quote, "go educate yourself at the end of the barrel of a loaded shotgun," unquote, after they told him to improve his comedy skills. Fortunately for Dennis, he'd get the opportunity to try his hand at a comedy venue that he rented and renovated sometime in 2022. He planned on using the space to host his first Super Roast Battle, which was meant to be an engaging comedy-filled night, with comedians or YouTubers performing roasts on each other. Dennis even used the tagline "pull up or shut up" in his promotional material to provoke people into attending what he thought would be the show of a lifetime.
Hope you're all doing amazing today. There are only a couple of tickets left for the roast. Make sure you get them before they're gone. This roast will be the first show that we're doing in this comedy club that I just built. It'll feature some of the best comics in Los Angeles, so make sure you get the tickets to the roast before they're completely gone.
However, the event would fall far below not just Dennis's expectations, but the expectations of everyone else on the internet. On the 19th of August 2022, Dennis live-streamed the roast battle to his YouTube and Twitch channels, and from the very start, the show was destined for failure. For the first couple minutes, the show was plagued by technical issues, leaving members of the audience to wait in the dark for a show that they'd already paid for. Even after Dennis and his team had gotten things in order, the atmosphere still showed no signs of improvement.
All right, LA, are you ready? You ready? Hey, Steven, I don't think these motherfuckers are ready. Are y'all ready? Okay, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't think we're gonna do the show anymore. This crowd's like, they're all asleep.
A majority of the show was just random people getting up on stage to deliver lackluster comments about each other's appearance.
It looks like his middle name is Rainbow.
Brando looks like the girl at public school who tries to act hard and then goes home to a mansion.
The finale didn't seem much better, as Dennis faced off with the winner of the previous battles and performed worse than everyone that came before him.
You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Thank you. I bet you cried when you got those tattoos.
I did. Are you from Detroit?
Take a guess.
No. I'm bombing so bad, and I don't give a fuck.
Neither do I, bro. Come on, we in it together, doggy.
Eventually, Dennis gave up on trying to be funny and begrudgingly awarded his opponent the win.
You know what? I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna bring the fucking check.
Why do I win? I thought
Because you won the roast battle.
To no one's surprise, the roast battle was a complete disaster, and to add salt to the wound, Dennis received a week-long ban on Twitch because one of the participants had used the F-slur. However, this wouldn't be the part that affected Dennis the most, as Moist Critical, aka Penguinz0, aka Charlie, caught wind of the event and gave a few roasts of his own.
Keep in mind, these are strangers. These two people have never met until they walked out on the stage together. So they can't actually roast each other. All they can do is insult each other's appearance, and it is painful. It is so hard to listen to. Obviously no rehearsal or anything. Same with Def Noodles. He's the host and he has no fucking clue what's going on. Started 27 minutes late, and it is an absolute joy
By the 21st of August 2022, Charlie published a video titled "I've never seen anything this horrible," in which he shared Dennis's latest blunder to over 4 million viewers.
An event that he was hosting finally happened, which is this, the Super Roast Battles. It's an event he was hyping up for weeks, talking about how it's going to be the next big thing, it's going to be like a really big popular event, it's going to be great. He was even trying to goad some YouTubers into coming on to like settle their beef in a roast battle. None of them showed up. In fact, almost nobody in general showed up. As you can see, it's not exactly like a sold out stadium here. It's about 10 family and friends. And this was a complete fucking disaster. Imagine Fire Festival, but if it actually happened and was worse than anyone could have imagined.
Charlie went on to point out the numerous flaws in the event, from the glaring technical issues.
The first 27 minutes the event doesn't even start. They just like cycle through YouTube playlists of rap or popular music. So they didn't start on time. People just sit here doing fucking nothing for 26 minutes listening to bad music.
To assembling random comedians who had prepared no material to work with.
What he did is he assembled a few people who said they've told a joke before in their life, and he had them roast each other. Nobody knew each other, literally nobody. So all they can do is roast each other's appearance because they don't know them. They're random people that he got together and told them to roast each other.
However, the detail that stood out to Charlie the most was Dennis's obvious insecurities with not being that funny.
He's not even like making retorts. He's just feeling insecure now. He's like, you win, please stop, I'm dead. Please, God, stop. Now you're just hurting my feelings. You're fired.
Dennis's attempt to take his comedy career to the next level had fallen flat, and everyone on YouTube was mocking him for it. But that didn't mean his dreams of being a good comic were over. In fact, if Dennis could take the criticism with grace and use it to make his next show more entertaining, perhaps this story would have ended a little differently. Unfortunately, Dennis saw a different path that didn't involve improving on his mistake, but rather making more of them. On the 22nd of August 2022, Dennis would upload a now-deleted response to Charlie titled, "My apology to Moist Critical for first Super Roast Battles," which only served to harm his reputation even further.
Well, I am thoroughly disappointed that I dared to put on something together for my fans and that the ones who attended thoroughly enjoyed the experience, or so they told me. I'm appalled that I could be such a fool to think that I could fulfill my job and be in entertainment when in fact I am nothing of the sort. I am not a comedian. I'm not even a human. I am just a clump of cells currently existing and spewing raw bullshit that I'm reading directly from a prompter for your entertainment. I am sitting here ludicrously buckling to my knees, self-deprecatingly acquiescing to the oh-so-great Moist Critical because you didn't like my roast.
Dennis clearly didn't like the fact that Charlie and many commentators had given valid criticism towards his roast battle, and was now using a veil of satire to hide it.
Boy, Mr. Moist Critical, I thank you for your profound observations. I thank you for showing me the light. I will once again produce a super roast battle 2 weeks from now so we can wrong every right that was left unturned.
While Dennis would later retract many of his poorly thought out comments, he had already started something he couldn't finish, as Charlie uploaded another video titled "My Response to the Drama."
I don't want this to be construed as some kind of personal attack or anything personal. Like I said when talking about the event, I don't really know Def Noodles. I don't hate him. I've only seen a couple of things on Twitter where he said or did some bad shit that people were dunking on him for.
Charlie went on to analyze Dennis's framing of the situation as allegations.
Here we are once again, addressing more allegations.
This is such a weird way of starting the video because I didn't make any allegations against him. I made jokes about the event and talked about it,
as well as mentioning the damage that he was doing to his fan base and career.
When he posted this video, he lost 3,000 subscribers over the course of 6 hours because, again, his fan base didn't sign up to hear him throw these like self-pity parties here.
In an effort to extend an olive branch to Dennis, Charlie would draw attention to his tendency to make matters worse by impulsively responding to any form of criticism, and gave some advice on how to overcome it.
Every YouTuber's made a video they regret, obviously. And I think that's what he's going through at the moment, where he's impulsively responding to things that are kind of non-issues.
Dennis had a pattern of giving knee-jerk reactions to criticism and injecting satire or comedic elements into serious discussions. But why was he like this? What happened during Dennis's YouTube career that made him think it would be a good idea to respond to valid criticism with jokes and satirical statements? Dennis's career as a YouTuber began in late 2018, making reaction and commentary videos on various popular Filipino singers. While he initially didn't garner significant viewership, Dennis seemed to enjoy creating videos for a small but loyal fan base.
This is my first video on this channel. I call it Deaf Noodles because I love noodles. And I also love learning about Filipino culture.
As time passed, Dennis gradually built up confidence as a creator and developed his own signature style of content, which aired more on a comedic side. He also branched out into making Facebook and Reddit meme compilation videos to further boost his growth on YouTube. By September 2019, Dennis had surpassed over 150,000 subscribers and was bold enough to showcase his work to much larger creators, specifically the commentary YouTuber Kavos, during his Make or Break livestream. Unfortunately, he didn't get the reaction he was looking for.
Area 51 raid me. Uh-oh. Where are they?
Oh, wait a minute. God. This guy literally just reads out memes.
This would mark the first time Dennis faced any real critique, and it was apparent he wasn't comfortable with it, as he later uploaded a video titled, "Kavos roasted my channel, my response."
No, that's totally fine. I totally get it. Outside of the fact that I'm a douchebag, I don't find myself to be a douchebag. I don't know what in my video caused you to think that I'm a douchebag, but I totally understand that, and that's totally your prerogative.
The entire video was of Dennis deflecting every piece of constructive advice that Kavos offered to protect his ego. Despite how much Kavos's comments had affected him, Dennis would try to brush it off by stating,
"Thankfully, I'm at a point in my life where I have self-confidence, and I'm not gonna place my entire self-worth on someone else's opinion of me."
However, a week later, Dennis showed his true feelings on the matter with a now deleted video titled, "Kavos made me want to quit YouTube." In Dennis's mind, there was no room for negative feedback towards anything he created, and anyone giving such feedback could not see the true value of his content. Even now, he was deluding himself into thinking that there was nothing wrong with his videos and that Kavos was simply being malicious. Dennis failed to understand that criticism was part of being a content creator, and he was about to be taught that lesson the hard way. In response to the criticism from Kavos, Dennis would completely switch up his style of content, from meme reactions to reporting and publishing news stories.
The internet is just one big sandcastle that keeps getting destroyed. With Jeffree Star getting exposed for allegedly stealing from a small makeup brand, things getting even worse for David Dobrik, and Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittick making an apology video, which ends up being an attack video of Trisha Paytas and the author of the Insider article.
Naturally, covering such topics would ultimately result in some form of negative feedback, which was something Dennis simply couldn't stand. To protect his ego, Dennis would include the following disclaimer in his channel's About section. Deaf Noodles is a character created by Dennis Vitoza meant to satirize some of the most deranged, toxic, and destructive aspects of internet culture. The opinions and thoughts expressed by Deaf Noodles are not a reflection of Dennis Vitoza's beliefs. In theory, this would protect Dennis from any backlash he incurred while covering various topics, and Dennis was certainly going to need said protection. As he went about spreading news headlines, he also earned a reputation for misrepresenting not just facts about the stories he covered, but the people involved in them as well. These misrepresentations include 1. Labeling John Swan as alt-right when covering his drama with Dream, 2. Maliciously framing a clip of Nicholas Diorio as weaponizing his viewers, and 3. Publishing various fake allegations when covering James Charles. Whenever he was rightfully called out for these blunders, Dennis reverted to calling everything satire and that it shouldn't be taken seriously. In essence, Dennis wanted to say anything he wanted about whoever he wanted without any recourse. In addition, Dennis's channel had grown to over 500,000 subscribers, which afforded a certain level of credibility despite his actions. However, it was only a matter of time before Dennis got a taste of his own medicine, when on the 21st of May 2021, Keemstar made a Twitter joke post calling Deaf Noodles, not Dennis, a PDF file. Deaf Noodles has allegedly girls from ages 12 to 15. Big YouTuber source. Victims are scared of him and wish to stay anonymous, but may come forward soon. Hashtag drama alert. As you'd expect, Dennis didn't take this joke lightly and opted to sue Keemstar for spreading false allegations.
Anyway, folks, as you read in the title of the video, I am suing Keemstar. Now, for those of you who started following me recently and are not aware, nearly 1 year ago, Keemstar knowingly published false and defamatory allegations against me.
There was already a long-running feud between the two, and this lawsuit only added fuel to the fire. Dennis would even go as far as asking other creators that Keemstar had wronged to join in on the lawsuit. Fortunately for Keemstar, his lawyer pointed out that the accusations were made towards Deaf Noodles, not Dennis, which led to the case making no sense at all. Ironically, Dennis had done the exact same thing he was suing Keemstar for several times, and was about to do it again to another creator named Papa Gut. On the 8th of February, Dennis and Papa Gut had a debate over his coverage of the B family drama, which was an active issue at the time.
Well, I will say that it's interesting that we're focusing so much on her crying, but not so much on the other aspect where we have like something that's been a very historical problem of maturing young black kids and then over-prescribing punishment. There's a big problem with them intentionally getting the age wrong and then over-prescribing punishment. Their punishment was that they think that he should get banned from YouTube. They're going to follow him across
and I said it in my video. I said that it's never going to happen.
Well, that never going to happen is different from, do you think it should happen? Did you think Killick should get banned?
Look, I'm against deplatforming. I've been deplatformed myself on Twitter. I don't think anybody should ever lose their platform for any fucking reason.
Things would only become more heated as their debate went on.
Your jokes are, if she bleeds, she breeds. If she can breed.
See, I knew it. You just brought those up to try to deplatform me. It's a pathetic move, man.
I'm not trying to deplatform you. I'm fucking
I literally explained why that was wrong, and your perspective is that joke was appropriate. Incredibly disingenuous mind. Everything that you say is so bad faith, and I'm expected to sit here while you yell for 75% of the debate.
Dennis would walk away from that debate holding a grudge against Papa Gut, and inevitably making false allegations against him as well. MF got famous on TikTok for joking about effing year-old girls, then gets offended someone jokes about him. But you know, he was right. I shouldn't have said that. I should have said instead he makes himself so small in his videos to hide the fact he looks like a PDF file. Within hours, Papa Gut would make a video response to the situation, in a video titled, "Deaf Noodles is a bad person."
He retweeted the context. Here's the context. The joke was, if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. Thank you very much, Andre Lopez, for the advice, right? Somehow, he looked at this and said, I'm gonna nail Papa Gut on this point.
Topics regarding SA were a sensitive spot for Papa Gut, due to his wife being a victim of such, and he sadly broke down into tears on camera.
Now, I just put in a situation where I feel like I just have to bare my entire soul, and you're gonna listen to this and you're gonna laugh, and you're gonna think it's funny. But you wanna know what, Dennis? It's not funny.
According to Know Your Meme, Dennis would make an apology video regarding the situation, but that wouldn't stop him from making a t-shirt of Papa Gut crying.
Yes, he made a t-shirt, okay, of me crying, and this is like the 10th time that he's put this up. I think that he thinks it upsets me.
Dennis had proven himself to be very thin-skinned when it came to any form of criticism or call-out. He'd vengefully attack anyone who he thought bruised his ego and labeled his mistakes as jokes. However, what he did during his second roast battle showed how far Dennis was willing to go to sustain his fragile sense of self. Fast forward to the 2nd of September 2022, Dennis is once again hosting a super roast battle, but this time it's with a twist. One of his biggest critics was in attendance. A creator by the name of Salvo Pancakes had taken Dennis's offer to join the roast battle and brought dozens of fans with him. While Salvo was unable to attend the first roast battle, his presence this time dramatically changed the atmosphere in the venue, as he began riling up the crowd before the show even started. Given the circumstances, Dennis was getting the lively show he wanted, and would probably have had a successful show if things continued this way. All Dennis had to do was come out and face Salvo like a true comedian, but sadly, he had other ideas. In one impulsive act, Dennis had shown everyone how hypocritical he was. Remember, Dennis had asked creators to come duke it out in a roast battle, and when they did show up, he shoved them back into the crowd. Dennis didn't care about the roast battle, and instead focused on sustaining his overinflated ego, an ego that Salvo was about to cut down to size with just one comment.
If we were here, there'd be nobody in the crowd.
There was no coming back for Dennis's reputation after that night, as every commentary channel on YouTube covered the disaster, especially Charlie.
Though I think ultimately Def Noodles as well as the community realized it's not that big of a deal. It's not a crime to hold a bad comedy night. But you know what is a crime? Assault. And that happened last night at Def Noodles' most recent Super Roast battle.
Charlie continued by grilling Dennis for his scummy overreaction during the event.
It's a big overreaction from Def Noodles here. Unless, of course, there was an imminent threat where the guy was on stage talking about he's gonna start throwing hands with everyone in the front row or something, or making like legitimate threats to the crowd. He pushes him from behind and then hides behind his friends to keep the other guy off of him, which I think is pretty lame. If you're gonna start some shit, you gotta finish that shit.
In the weeks and months that followed, Dennis lost 90% of his viewership and what little respect anyone had left for him. While Dennis would try to save his channel by switching up his content to challenge videos, viewers still bombed his content or didn't watch them at all. It's unclear if Dennis was trying to be funny or if he had truly given up on his YouTube, but he had uploaded 2 videos challenging his dwindling audience to unsubscribe. Unsurprisingly, Dennis's channel fell to all-time lows, as many of his videos failed to surpass 2,000 views, and his subscribers were dropping off by the day. The turning point for Dennis would come after reacting to SunnyV2 documenting his downfall. While the video has since been deleted, a creator by the name of Low Lies would cover it on her channel.
A video was made by the creator SunnyV2, and it documented his downfall and his mistakes that got him to where he is now. He did a reaction to this where he literally said nothing the entire time, just watched it, and he was just a little blurp in the corner. It seems like watching that video really opened up his eyes and it really sunk in, and maybe it already had.
Another deleted video that showcased how far Dennis had spiraled was his video titled Coming Clean About Everything, which was covered on his Reddit page. I watched Steph's video about coming clean on everything that he posted a few days ago. It's hard to tell if it's genuine or not, since he's been shitposting in this subreddit for a while, as well as shitposting weird obtuse videos on his main YouTube channel for a while now. But I do think he wants to do better. I think Uber was a good step for him. Dennis needs a real job to humble him, and particularly something that takes him offline. These constant apology videos and reflection videos where he overshares just become exhausting when the guy needs to stop feeling entitled to a YouTube audience. The posts from Dennis that were referenced were the ones that came after he realized the true damage he had done to his career. I'm a manipulative, tension-seeking whore. Should I quit and get a real job? Should I just end it all? What job should I get? I am broke and can't afford therapy. What should I do? Should I go to rehab? I want to give up. How can I make things right with everyone I've wronged? I am so depressed. Dennis's need to feed his ego had cost him everything, and it was only when things were at their worst that he truly understood that.
I give up. I really do. I give up. It's over. It just really fucked it all up. I was really embarrassed and ashamed to admit it, but I did it. It's all my fault. And I've put myself here. And I just come to terms with the fact that there's no way out.
Although those that didn't believe Dennis was genuine about his declining emotional state, the fact that he had to cancel 2 of his shows at the comedy club due to an emergency raised some concerns. Thankfully, Keemstar later confirmed that Dennis was still alive. Checked in with Def Noodles, he is alive. All can say for now for those that are concerned. Dennis's obsession with being seen as a funny comedian was what truly led to his downfall. This obsession pushed him to create a comedic persona that poorly reported the news, and eventually started the roast battle that destroyed his reputation as well as his finances. To make matters even worse, Dennis didn't have the mental stability to endure the criticism that comes with being a creator, which became the root cause of many controversies. All these factors slowly eroded the trust and respect Dennis had with his fan base, as many of them decided to leave rather than watch his self-destructive antics. As of May 2024, Dennis has wiped all of his social media platforms of prior posts, and it's unlikely he'll ever be ready to return. However, we can only hope that he sees the error of his ways and takes necessary steps to put his life back together. At the end of the day, he doesn't deserve to have his life ruined over being unfunny and not being able to take criticism. Click the video on screen to find out how Penguinz0 destroyed YouTube's worst content thief.